What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show back with another video, and today, man, we're talking about Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Daima, whatever this is, bro. We're talking about that. So, if you guys don't know, a new Dragon Ball series was announced, and they finally showed what it was basically about. And the general synopsis, you can probably see the trailer in the background. Basically, everybody gets turned to kids. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is trash, right? And why would they do this again? And like, why would Akira Toriyama even do this? But I have to tell you guys something. I don't know. I'm be honest. I don't know. To me, it seems like GT is like the biggest stain on the legacy of Dragon Ball. And you know, if you go back and watch the original Dragon Ball, it's old, it's dated, but it's actually really good. It's amazing. It's a lot more about the martial arts and stuff. And then you go to get to like Dragon Ball Z and stuff, and the pacing is not the greatest and stuff. And then we get to like Kai, where they kind of better up the pacing a little bit, and it's just a better thing overall. You know, you really start to get in that bag of like, okay, Dragon Ball Z is, you know, really good series. It's obviously not the best in terms of like plot lines and all of that, but Dragon Ball Z always brings the hype, it always brings the energy, and it just sucks seeing like to go from Dragon Ball Z Super, where they have the Tournament of Power, getting that Broly movie, which was absolutely fantastic, and even to go to from something like Superhero, because I think Superhero was not the best Dragon Ball Z movie, but it was actually a fun ride. I mean, I went to the theaters to actually go see it. It was cool, you know. I got a new mystical transformation. At this point, we all know Dragon Ball Z is all about, you know, bullshit powers. It is what it is. I think for me personally, though, was not really a fan of seeing this trailer and seeing that they essentially are making a second Dragon Ball GT, but probably a little less interesting. And let me explain. Dragon Ball GT, the original Dragon Ball anime goes into Dragon Ball Z, and in Dragon Ball Z, when they defeat Majin Buu at the end of Dragon Ball Z, spoiler alert by the way, they have like a little time where they're kind of like, it's like a little, you know, kind of like some fillery episodes and stuff to end Dragon Ball Z. So basically the way it worked is they did a time skip. So they did a time skip and they showed like the characters years later, and Trunks and Goten, they kind of grew up a bit, and you see Goku fighting in a tournament to like find like a fighter. He's just looking for a specific fighter. And it's basically hinted that Majin Buu, when Goku made the wish that Majin Buu would be like reincarnated, he got reincarnated to Oob. He finds Oob at the tournament, they fight, he takes Oob off to go train him, and that's like basically where Dragon Ball Z as the whole ends. That's where the canon technically ends for Dragon Ball Z. Now, they made another series which is called Dragon Ball GT, and that was supposed to be like, this what happens after the actual Dragon Ball Z canon timeline, and it followed like Goku training Oob. The problem with GT though is that it was all over the place, because the original issue that a lot of people had with GT is that they made Goku a kid again. Because I think at that point Goku had gotten so powerful that he has to fight like world-shattering like enemies and stuff, and obviously this is before like the gods and Beerus and all that stuff was even thought of. So it's kind of weird that Goku fought all these legendary god-like creatures, and then, you know, I mean, obviously GT isn't canon, so it really doesn't matter regardless. But like I said before, like the main issue with GT was that people did not like Goku turning into a kid. They felt like it was absolutely stupid, because it felt like something they just needed to do to try to reconnect to the original Dragon Ball. They wanted to make it more adventurous for Goku. They wanted to make it harder for him, you know, and it was hard for him like to maintain Super Saiyan and stuff. He was just so powerful at the end of Z. It's like you kind of have to nerf him in a way. Same thing they did with like Naruto and Dragon Ball in Naruto and Boruto. You gotta nerf him, but the point is they didn't really move it on to a new generation. Goku's still the main character. He traveled around with Pan and Trunks, and it was honestly not the greatest series. But like I said, the main issue was that Goku turned small. It was a big issue in the community. So when they came out with this Dragon Ball Daima trailer and they released it and showed people that, hey, everybody's gonna be small this time around, it feels like there's a slap in the face, because I feel like as fans, whether it's gaming companies or whatever, mainly Nintendo's what I'm talking about, I feel like a lot of fans really will tell you what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of fans will tell you what they want and what they would be interested in. If you just would listen, put your ears to the pavement and really listen, it's not hard to know what fans want. Like fans want a new Dragon Ball Z series where Goku's gonna power up and shout and stuff. And yes, it's cliche, and yes, it's overdone at this point through Dragon Ball, but it's Goku, and Goku powers up. He gets mysterious transformations. There's already content in the manga right now where they could adapt that, but instead they decided to make a series which is essentially Dragon Ball Z GT2, in which they're gonna take Goku and Vegeta and Yamcha and all these characters and turn them into kids. They even turn Goten, and not Gotenks, but Goten and Trunks into babies. I don't really see the appeal of this series. I don't know which like plot could come out of this. They're probably trying to scale it down a little bit because Goku is just so immensely powerful, but I think that that's the wrong step for Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z to me is always something that needs to be moving forward, and I feel like moving backwards and going into becoming a kid and, you know, using the power pole and stuff, none of that is really necessary anymore. Dragon Ball Z has evolved from like Dragon Ball. It's not even really the same in the same series anymore, so you can't try to go back and redo Dragon Ball. Like, and I'm not saying they're trying to redo it, but let's be honest, like they gotten the little versions of Goku, little versions of Vegeta. It's like, what are we really finna see right now? They're gonna fuse, you get a little version of Gogeta or something like that? Like, bro, you basically give me a series with like chibi anime characters and just telling me that it's the next Dragon Ball Z. I would have never thought. It also doesn't help that GC did so poorly due to some of the issues with Goku being a child. Obviously, some of the pacing issues with the series is not just limited to him becoming a child, but it was such a big part of why people hated it, and you would decide to do that for every main character that everybody loves. It reminds me of like the Baby Looney Tunes thing. Like it's like giving me something and then just taking it and just making it babyfied. I'm not saying it's gonna be bad. I'm gonna watch it, bro. Like, I'm gonna check it out and see if I like it and enjoy it. Maybe they're gonna show me some magic, and I'm completely being paranoid about this topic for no reason, and it's gonna be a good series. It's gonna be a good everything, but I mean, it remains to be seen. So with that being said, guys, let me know how you feel about Dragon Ball Daima. Do you enjoy it? Do you feel like it's really an interesting take on the world of Dragon Ball? And let me know that in the comments below. I'll see you guys next video. スタープラチナザワやれやれだぜ